back from the break. In this week's In Focus segment, we get interactive with Anyele Perbi, the CEO of Perbi Cabs Library Services. Hello! It's another week where we get the opportunity to sit with an amazing personality who is contributing massively to the educational sector. And today we have no other person than the CEO of Perbi Cabs, and she is Anyele Perbi. So we are going to delve into a conversation with her, know all about Perbi Cabs and what services they provide. I'm sure you would like to stick till the end. And my name is Anita Yayuakbeku. Hello, Mrs. Anyele.
Hello, Anita.
Thank you, and I'm honored to have you here today.
It's also a real privilege to be on this program. Thank you.
Great. So before we delve into knowing about Perbi Cabs and what they do, can you kindly tell us about you? Who is Anyele Perbi?
Well, thank you. I am Anyele. My background is economics and accounting, but although I trained as that, I've always had a passion for reading and a passion for children. I'm also a mother myself. I'm married and a mother, and I have only 7 children.
Wow.
So I spend most of my time hanging out with family, but also engaging children to read as well.
Great, that's amazing. You mentioned that your background is in accounting and economics. How does someone who has background in accounting and economics have this establishment and is so into the fact of improving reading amongst children and all?
Very good question. You know, someone said your passion is a clue to your mission. And as I mentioned, growing up, I loved reading and I enjoyed it so much. I also love working with children, so that passion kind of directed my path. So even though I trained as an economist and an accountant, I'm using that all right in what I do, but my passion led me to the path I'm on right now.
Right, that's amazing. Thank you for following your passion. All right, so did you have any experiences in school you'd like to share with us? How was academics for you? Did you have problems? Was it a cool ride all the way? Yeah, we want to know.
Okay, so I was blessed, as I said, to love reading growing up, and I think that that's where I'm really passionate about getting children to love reading, because from my experience and from the experience of others, I was able to do better in school because I loved reading. I was able to understand what I was studying. I was able to also do well in math. But that said, I believe what reading helped me to do was that it helped me to actually put in more effort. Sometimes we think that if you're not good at something, then you put in the extra effort. But actually, when you are good at doing something, like, you know, it doesn't mean you don't put in extra effort. You put in the effort so you can get even better at it. And then it becomes a cycle where you're doing well and you put in more effort and you're doing better. You know, so but that said, I think around secondary school, I was doing elective math, and a lot of people I know add math is quite a struggle. And so we get to differentiation and integration, and I'm wondering what is all this, you know?
I know, right?
And so around that time, it was challenging, but I was fortunate to have a good teacher in secondary school who was teaching math, and also I did a bit of extra classes as well. And with determination and lots of encouragement, I was able to also do well. So to anyone who is struggling with add math or any other subjects, I believe that we all have the capacity to do anything we set our minds to. So with encouragements from those around you and determination, you can also make it.
Right, this is a beautiful story, and it's already encouraging, but we do have more for our audience. So yeah, we are coming into what actually this discussion is about, and that is Perbi Cabs. What is Perbi Cabs?
Okay, so Perbi Cabs. Well, Perbi Cabs, well, my last name is Perbi, and cabs are baby lions. So people call children kids, but my husband and I prefer to say cabs because cabs are baby lions. You know, kids are baby goats. So lions signify champions, leaders, you know, and that's what we want children to grow up to become. That said, the name Perbi Cabs is because it was initially to fulfill a family need. My family and I were living in Canada a few years ago, and we're coming to Ghana on vacation. And in Canada, we're blessed to live right across a public library with 100,000 books. So our children love to borrow books. They would borrow several books at a time. And when we're coming to Ghana, we said, oh, how about we bring some books with us so that they can sustain the reading habits.
Yeah.
And so we bought about 1,000 books and shipped it to Ghana. When we came, their cousins and friends enjoyed reading from the collection. So it was a small family, collection. So we said, oh, let's just call it Perbi Camps, because that's what we call our children. I always say that if I had known it was going to become a big establishment, I would have named it Avid Readers of Ghana or something.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
so that was the birth of Perbi Camps, just to fulfill a family need. But when we came and we saw the interest, we said, let's do a small library and engage children in schools. So take the books to children in schools. So we added on, we bought some more hard copy books. And then COVID struck. And now we had all these books, hard copy books, and we had all the children at home. And so the question was, how do we engage them even during COVID? So we then switched to e-books and an engaging program through online means. Yes.
Right, that's amazing. It's a beautiful story. And how you were able to buy hundreds of books to Ghana.
Thousands.
That's beautiful. So now what do Perbi Cabs do now? What are they known for across the world?
Okay, so Perbi Cabs offers a fun, evidence-based and cost-effective literacy program or reading program that empowers children to succeed by becoming good readers. And we like to, fun is first, and as you can see, we like to do colorful because unfortunately in our context, reading is seen as a chore or a bore or a punishment. Sometimes when children are misbehaving, the teacher will say, go to the library, it's like a punishment. If you are given extra books to read, then it's like a punishment. But the research shows that the love for reading is actually a stronger indicator of a child's success in school in the future than even their parents' background, educational background, or socioeconomic status. So we are passionate about getting children to succeed through reading because it's like the water level. If the water level goes up, all the other boats go up as well. So whether it's history or it's math or it's science, you'll do better across board if you can read well. So that's precisely what Perbi Cabs is known for now, bringing the fun to reading and helping children to excel at reading so they can succeed in school and in their future careers.
Right. So you mentioned that it was because you had the passion for reading and everything. So why didn't you take a field such as health or infrastructure, anything? And you just mentioned that because of research and everything. So why did you decide to focus on improving reading amongst the younger ones?
Okay. So, I mean, as I said, it's a passion, and I think that trying to bring societal change or trying to create a new culture is a lot of work. Trying to do something that is countercultural or to swim against the currents is a lot of work. So it definitely has to be led by a passion, and that passion for reading, as I said, I grew up with a passion for reading. So every obstacle you encounter as you try and do this, it doesn't cause me to give up. It causes me to say, oh, how can we get around this obstacle? How can we make it more interesting, more exciting, more engaging, more cost effective? Because books by themselves tend to be expensive. But if we can make it cost effective, then it's less excuses for parents to encourage their children to read, less excuses for the children to read, and we can actually make it work. So that's kind of why this. Yes, I believe health is important, good food is important, and I believe someone has a real strong passion to do it. But for me, the passion is reading. Because joy learning promotes all kinds of learning and wants children to learn better. But there's really no learning in school, at least, without reading. It's foundational. It's like infrastructure to learning is reading. Even if you are very good at math and you can say, let's say 23 plus 46, you can write it down and you can write, oh, that is 59, 69 rather. But if you are told in a story problem, there are 23 mangoes and there are 46 oranges. How many fruits are there? And you don't understand, you can't read. You can't then know, is it addition or subtraction or is multiplication or what is it? And so that's why reading is very important, because once we are able to read, we can definitely empower ourselves to succeed. From the age of, around 5 to 10, children should be learning how to read. And then from 10 going, they are now reading to learn. Because from the age of 10, class 3, then you start learning about nutrition and solar system and religious and moral studies. So if you are still struggling to read at that point, then there's a gap that's created, and you may never actually catch up to become all that you should be. And unfortunately in our system, unfortunately in our public schools, we have a lot of children who can't read. In fact, according to the World Bank, in sub-Saharan Africa, so not just in Ghana, about 87% of children by the age of 10 can't read and understand anything they read. That means that almost 9 out of 10 children, are set up to not do well in school, because beyond the age of 10, when you're supposed to be knowing solar system and water cycle, you can't read. There's no way you can know that. And so this is why my passion for reading, this is why reading was said.
Great, we now understand your choice. So what are some of the projects that Perbi Cabs has embarked on?
Okay, so Perbi Cabs partners with schools and with parents to get their children to love reading. So one of the main ways we do so is setting up comprehensive digital library solutions in schools, which means that we set up a digital library with enough tablets for the classes that are going to come. So we do this in partnership with schools. So the children will come for library period, and in their library space they will have tablets with access to thousands of books, comprehension quizzes, and other fun activities. We also provide a trained facilitator who guides them to read, monitors their reading, and makes it a very fun experience. So we believe in very colorful and engaging branding, as you can see. But we also believe in an engaging interaction. So we are very, very big on affirmation, celebration, success, and rewards. And that's how we get children, even the most reluctant reader, we get them to engage with our program because we make it a very fun and affirming environment. We don't make children who are a little bit behind when it comes to reading or quite behind. We don't actually make them feel bad. We just tell them, that's great, you have more room for improvement, you will do well. And we guide them and keep on encouraging them to read. So our comprehensive digital library solution is one major offering we have. But because it's also an EdTech platform, the children are able to log in wherever they are, even if they are in the car going somewhere and mommy has a smartphone they can borrow. They can also read there. They get they pass quizzes and get points, which earn them medallions, as you can see, bronze, silver, gold, platinum or diamond medallions. So they feel very proud of themselves because of that. So we have a lot of children who learn to love to read because of the system that we offer. We also are doing a very massive reading awareness campaign this year, because this year UNESCO has chosen Accra as World Book Capital. And so for one whole year, the center of books, the world capital is Accra. And it's a really wonderful privilege. So in partnership with the media, influencers, and also people from all walks of life, we are putting together a campaign called Carnival, which is what I'm wearing here. Carnival comes from two words, Carne, which is the Ga word for read, and Carnival, which is a traveling fanfare. Excitement, fun, amusement. And so we've been going around from community to community, engaging people to read, engaging children to read. Because once children and the society knows that reading is fun and reading leads to success, everyone should read, will be able to actually impact the culture we have here.
Wow, that's really nice. So have you seen any impact so far that Perbi Cabs has made? Can you share some of them with us?
Okay, thank you. So Perbi Cabs, since we started, is kind of a paradigm shifting organization, because as I said, there's a saying that if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And it's not a very nice thing, but unfortunately, in our culture, we don't seem to cherish reading. It's either people can't read well, so they don't read, or people can actually read, but they still don't read. The value is the same. Whether you can read or you can't read, if you don't read, the value is the same. So one major impact we've had is actually bringing excitement and fun to reading of all things. And when we engage with people and we bring especially the carnival fanfare around, people end up saying, oh wow, this is different, this is something. So that awareness alone is one of the impacts we're very proud of, because we get to have a different association in the minds of people when it comes to reading. It's no longer the thing to be scared of or the thing to be done with when you are done with exams, but it's something which is supposed to be part of our lives as lifelong learners. More specifically though, in the schools we've partnered with, and also in the schools we've interacted with during Carnival, we've seen children who are reluctant readers become children who don't mind reading, and then children who enjoy reading. And the ripple effect of that is that they do better in their schoolwork. First of all, they have a better attitude to school. And that alone changes everything, because once you have a better attitude to something, it actually affects how much effort you put into it. And the more effort you put into it, and you begin to succeed, as I said, it will become a cycle. So you put in more effort, you do better. You put in more effort, you do better. You know, and so we've seen that impact, where in the schools we partnered with, we gotten a lot of excitement about reading. In fact, parents sometimes jokingly complain that, hey, now my son is always reading, even where he tells me, mommy, turn the TV up because I'm reading, you know. And so that is always exciting to hear. And we know that these children, not just now, but in the next few years, they will continue to experience academic success and also to do well beyond that in their future careers, because that's what the research says. If you love reading, you do well in school, you do well in your career as well. So those are some of the impacts we've seen through Perbi Cabs.
You are doing massively well. It's not just the fact that we say that we are celebrating people who are contributing to the educational sector, but you are doing great. I mean, you are helping a lot of people and all. So I wanted to ask, I'm being a bit curious. So with the electronic devices that you provide for the children to read, how is that guided? Because you know, children are curious and they may want to go to places to check this. So how is that guided? Do they have people to guide them on using them?
Okay, very good question. So that is a concern of the schools that we partner with. How are we sure that when the children come to the digital library in the school, they are not just, you know, clicking to go on YouTube and watching videos and doing other things? Well, the devices we provide have restricted access to our platform. And I think that gives many parents, myself included, a lot of calmness and you know, assurance that everything is well. So when they are in the library reading on our devices, they can only read on our devices, and that's what they do. And then also we have the facilitator who's around, who's making sure they're actually reading and taking their book quizzes as well. And so that helps. That's a major concern parents have. Also, the books we have are not just random books you put in there. I know nowadays parents, myself included, are very concerned about what are the books our children are exposed to, and what agendas do people have when they bring books to children. Our books are carefully curated, and we make sure that the books that we have on our platform are ones that will develop the children and cause them to be nurtured well, some books that they enjoy, and they are safe for the children to read. Sometimes people say, oh, children don't like reading, or my son doesn't like reading, my daughter doesn't like reading. And most of the time we find that it's because the child has not actually got a book they are interested in. So sometimes a child, you say, oh, this child doesn't like reading. Maybe they like something, some topic, maybe they like machines or sports or animals or mystery books. And the books that are there are not those books. So of course they don't like reading. So one thing we really like to do in Perbi Cabs is we have a whole variety of books. Animals and pets, sports and hobbies, machines, countries or geography, food, you know, all kinds of topics. And so the child who is supposed not to like reading, just ask them, what do you like to read about? And they say, oh, I like military aircraft. Great! We can open some books for you, you start reading them. So that's what we do here. Yes.
Right. So for those who come in and do not have any idea of reading, do they have someone to take them through the process to get used to the fact that maybe I'm talking about the younger ones or even elder ones that come and still can't pronounce some words to aid them in reading? How do you help those children?
Okay, so that's good. So because we initially started as a library service, and we're actually still in the process of actually We partner with an organization that helps in the Learn to Read, but that is actually on hold now. But we are in the process of actually developing a very rigorous system that takes children right from the alphabet all the way to fluency. At this point, we work from class 1 to JHS2. That's our target group. And usually if the class 1 children or children who have a bit of a challenge, that's what the facilitator can guide them to read. So they go through guided reading where they are reading the book and they're being helped along to be able to read and to excel in reading.
Right. That's amazing. So where do you see Perbi Cabs in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay. So Perbi Cabs has a very bold vision of every family successful through a vibrant culture of reading. And we, in the next 3 to 5 years, would love to be across Ghana and even, in other West African countries or African countries as well, because when I mentioned that about 87% of children in sub-Saharan Africa can't read and understand what they read, that's called learning poverty. And learning poverty is very strongly correlated with poverty, as in poor people. So we are excited about our vision because if we are actually able to get children to read, we are giving them a key that can enable them to break the cycle of poverty they may find themselves in. So in 3 to 5 years, we'd love to be all across Ghana. We'd love to have made a significant impact on the culture we have, where society encourages children to read, and mothers and fathers and aunties and uncles will be asking the children, have you read today? Because it's easy for them to easily access books on Perbi Cabs platform and read. And we want to see the impact, the children who are now perhaps 10 years old in our program, in 5 years they'll be 15 years old. We want to see them excelling academically, and that being a testimony to others behind them. So that's where we see ourselves in 5 years.
Amazing. You just mentioned that children who have been here for 10 to 5 years. So how old is Perbi Cabs? How long has it been?
So Perbi Cabs is 5 years old. But I was referring to a child who is currently 10 years old in our program and going through the program. In 5 years time, we want to see a very good testimony from that child because of the reading habits they've been having for the past 5 years.
That's amazing. It's been a wonderful time. So this is where you look into the camera and then give your last words to our audience who is watching you and is like, I want to improve on my reading. Please speak to them, tell them something.
Okay, so first of all, I want to speak to parents. It's a wonderful privilege to be a parent. It's an amazing gift to steward children to grow up to be who God has created them to be. And reading is a very fundamental skill that children need to have. Not just the ability to read, but also the love for reading. The love for reading actually enables children to succeed in school and in their future careers. So if you are a parent or you're an aunt or an uncle and you have children around you, nurture them, encourage them, and support them in their reading journey. We would love to see the in thing, the wonderful thing to do amongst children being reading, because then we know that we are building the next generation up to be leaders, to be successful, and to be champions in their time. And to the general society, which includes those who are not yet parents or those who are grandparents, and society in general, everyone from influencers to corporate bodies and all that. Let's all come together this special year that Accra is UNESCO's World Book Capital. Let's partner the book publishers, the authors, the corporate institutions, media, influencers. Let's all come together to change the story on reading. At the end of this year, we do hope that the story will be that reading is fun, reading leads to success, and everyone should read. So we are looking forward to hearing from you. You can contact us at Perbi Cabs and plug into what we are doing to make reading enjoyable for the success of children, not just today, but also in their future.
Great. That is amazing. I hope you heard that and you're going to work towards it. So it's been a wonderful time with the CEO of Perbi Cabs, Anyele Perbi, and I have had a wonderful time with her. And as you know, every week we bring you amazing personality. So next week I'll be here with another amazing personality. So watch out for me. And my name is Anita Yaya Beku. See you next week. It's another beautiful month. Do you have anyone you want to celebrate? Send details to Joy Learning and let us wish that special person for you.
It's time to wish your loved ones well on that special occasion. Is it the birthday or anniversary of your child, friend, classmate, your schoolmate, your teacher, or non-teaching staff of your school? The all-new JL Birthday Wish by Ghana's #1 educational TV channel hits your regular classroom screen. And as usual, it is time for Jack to play and have fun. It has been made easy for you, and this is how. Send a picture of your loved ones. Add their names, school, and location, and a heartwarming birthday message. And finally, follow us on official Joy Learning TV on Instagram, like the JL Birthday Wish post, and tag 5 friends. Send it to our WhatsApp line 0247 108 738. And voila! Your birthday wish will be aired on Joy Learning TV and all our social media platforms. Learning is made fun with the JL Birthday Wish. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
This is where we draw the curtain on Edu News 360. Catch us same time next week. My name is Anita Yayak Beku.